There we
I'm
go.
not going. I'm not going to record, so it's on YouTube. I can't
Cool.
run this software and try to record at the same time. I've
All
done
right.
that in the past. Doesn't work out so well.
Sounds good. So I'll quickly just cover what we're going to cover today. So there's a few things that we've seen that are common issues. So the first thing is to make sure you have the latest version. We were talking about this before jumping on the call. There's a few of you that are still saying that you're stuck in somewhat of a loop, I guess. So I'm not sure how you guys still have the old install link. Just make sure that if you're stuck, if you have a version installed on your computer that seems like you're kind of stuck in a loop of something, delete that, go into the members area, and download the latest version. I believe that is the quick fix for that, right, Steve, Rick?
Correct.
Yes, don't delete it. Uninstall it.
Okay, yeah, uninstall it and then go back into the members area and install the latest one. There was a bit of a Microsoft issue going on. It's still going on, but we'll cover that in a bit. The video tutorials, also many of you are saying that you log into the members area and you still see mobile Renegade tutorial videos. We understand that. Trust me, this is a monster software that we have taken and completely rebranded it, updated it, made it look a lot better. If you guys were to see what it looked like before we changed it, it's been a huge journey to get to where we are now. So we're also in the process of getting the tutorials made with the new version, but you can still use, you can still kind of follow along with some of the tutorials that are in there. But don't worry, stick with us, and that's why we're putting together this webinar as well. We're going to walk you through the software, help you guys out, and with everything that you need help with. So we know that the videos in the members area, still some of them are mobile Renegade, but understand it's pretty much the same software, just with some updates and a completely new user interface. Also, the Microsoft issue, Rick, if you want to just quickly touch on this, just what's going on. There's some of you. There is a small, Microsoft did a crazy update to their software which affected the way that Prophet Renegade installed, I believe, and it just caused a big issue. So if you want to touch on that real quick, Rick.
Yep, I do. As a matter of fact, what I want to do is give everybody who's having that issue, if you could do me a favor, I know there's only 10 to 15% of you, but that's still a big number. If you are actually having the issue where it's telling you that you have an update and you go to update it and it rolls into it, could you do me a favor, type a 1 in the box real quick. If you have updated it successfully and it does not give you that, give me a 0. Just type 1 if you're having the update issue, 0 if you don't. I just want to know how many people in this group are actually having that issue. And I don't see any replies coming in at all. So, guys, come on. This is I'm going to be doing this to help you guys out.
Do you have the chat window open? Do you have the questions window open? Because there's a bunch of 1s and 0s coming in.
I don't see them at all. I must be missing that screen. Where's that at?
Questions.
Questions.
Yeah, I've got the questions open. I don't see any. Oh, there they are. You know what? I had it rolled at the top. Okay. That's what I need to see.
Yeah, scroll it down to the bottom. Those are the newest.
Okay, great. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is today, right now, I'm going to give you a Skype address that was just made specifically for this purpose. What I'm going to do is, not tomorrow, but the day after, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to turn that Skype on. You guys send me a request. I'm going to jump in your computer through remote control, and it's going to take me exactly 5 minutes to get that fixed for you. If you don't want to do it through remote control, I will tell you how to do it over Skype. We could just talk, and I'll tell you what to do. That's going to probably take like 15 minutes. So if you let me do it, it'll take 5. The Skype address is, which I just found out, they've changed everything, so it's kind of weird. It's actually an email address. It's support@prophetrenegade.com. So, again, I'm pasting this in the box, so everybody should get it. Except it's not. So, there we go. Did everybody get that? Did anybody get that?
Sorry, I was on mute. I just pasted it into the chat box now. So.
Oh, okay. So did I. All right. So everybody got that. All right. Let me rephrase this one more time. Don't send me anything tonight because I'm not going to answer it. Wednesday, Wednesday morning, Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to start helping everybody that answers me. Now, I'm going to spend about 4 hours a day on that, so I expect to have this take 2 or 3 days to get to everybody. I can't spend all day on it because I need to upgrade the software for you guys. So hopefully you understand I need to do both. I need to kind of meet y'all in the middle, fix your issues for you, and get the software upgraded. Does everybody understand that? Give me a one if you understand. All right, excellent. I know you guys have put a lot of trust into Josh. I know you've heard some really great stuff about the software. And just to give you a little background on it, Mobile Renegade's been around for a long time. I built it originally for my own business with my partner. And then as we started using it, people would ask us what we're using, how are we doing what we're doing. And we showed them, and then they started asking if they could buy it. So we got the brilliant idea to start selling it. The more we sold it, the more users we got that asked us to put in additional options or make it a little bit better. So just about everything you see in the software is something that a user like yourself has asked for. That's why Profit Renegade now is as good as it actually is, because of users like you. You guys understand that? So this is your software. You're going to help me continue to build this and make it better for yourselves. You guys all understand that? Give me one if you get that.
Yeah, and Tom is saying, if you can't get me up and running today, I want a refund. Awesome, Tom, we'll give you a refund. If you're not willing to be patient with us and work with us, I mean, Rick is offering to jump on Skype with you guys starting tomorrow morning and help you guys out. If you're not willing to have that patience, then just hit us up. I mean, it would definitely be your loss. We've refunded a few people already that came back the next day and asked us to buy again because they made an impulsive decision to refund. But if you want that, Tom, we'll accommodate you.
A lot of you guys have purchased what you thought was similar software in the past. I guarantee you haven't. You thought you have, but you haven't. I cannot tell you how many people have bought these systems that are $1,000 or $500 or $5, and they think that they've got the best scraper or they got this awesome scraper, and then they get a hold of Mobile Renegade or now Profit Renegade, and they're just blown away about what this software can do, which you actually own now. So you guys already have it. You know, I'm not trying to sell you on it. You got it. You own it, and I'm going to teach you how to use it today. Khalid, that's what I'm doing, buddy. I'm trying to explain this right now. And go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you ever, whenever you're ready for me to just, so if you want to show your screen with anything, I'll pass it over to you. So if you want to just show anything on screen, just let me know, and I'll be able to, I guess, shoot the screen over to you.
Okay, Gary Gaspo, you're asking about Mobile Renegade. You shouldn't have Mobile Renegade unless you're a Mobile Renegade customer. Are you a Profit Renegade customer and you're seeing Mobile Renegade? Is that correct, Gary? Okay, Gary, get with me on Skype. You downloaded the wrong version, probably because my server sent you to the wrong spot. As well as having a Microsoft issue error, we had Richard, that's me, screw up the server error. And so some of you guys wound up downloading the wrong version, and that was totally my mistake in the middle of launch. I just screwed up. So I'll get anybody that's got Mobile Renegade actually over to the Profit Renegade. All you got to do is hit me up on Skype, and I'll get that taken care of for you. You guys understand that?
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, if you're supposed to have Profit Renegade, okay, so there's a few people saying that they have Mobile Renegade, so, and some people asking about what the correct version is. You're supposed to have Profit Renegade. That's what was on sales for, that's what we sold, that's what you saw on the demo. So there was just a small glitch once we went live that sent a few of you to the Mobile Renegade download link. Disregard that, uninstall that, and we'll get you squared away with Profit Renegade.
Okay, I see again a bunch of people are asking what the Skype address is. I'm going to hit send to wall once again. This is the address to start hitting me up on. Again, it's going to be first come, first serve. I'll handle everybody over a period of days, but you just got to give me about 4-hour blocks and help everybody for 4 hours, and then I'll move on to programming on the software. Archie Allen, that's because I just made this address specific for this issue. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask Josh to switch the screen over so I can start walking you through how to actually run Profit Renegade.
All right,
so you just
cool.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right, let me just quickly cover.
Yes, Gil.
Let me cover the non-technical stuff real quick. So guys, there's Steve has mentioned to me that there's a few of you that are kind of confused as to the upsells that you purchased. Remember, I mentioned this in the sales videos. They all say that the upsells are all built into Profit Renegade already. So once you buy the upsells, all you got to do, they're already unlocked within the software. You don't have to download anything additional. You don't have to install anything additional. The upsells are built into Profit Renegade. So that makes it easier for you, so you don't have to install something else. And just so if you bought the upsells and you're confused as to why there's no other download link, it's because it's already built in. Once you purchase, our backend system knows that you own the upsells already, and it'll unlock that in your version. So I'm going to quickly cover them. The first upsell that many of you bought is the extended services. That's going to allow you to get additional leads from Facebook, Google, and a few other different services. So again, you don't have to download anything else. That's all built into whenever you're going to go look for new leads, you can just select the drop down and all the other extended services should show up right there. There's nothing else to install. The same thing with the email plugin. That's all built in right into the software as well. You don't need, it's not, although we call it a plugin, it's not, I think that is what might have caused some confusion, that we're calling it a plugin. So many of you might think that you actually have to download something like a WordPress plugin. No, it's just, it's a plugin within the software. So you don't have to install anything additional. And when it comes to Video Chief, that's the third upsell. That's completely separate from Profit Renegade. So for Video Chief, you actually have to, once you purchase that, you automatically had an account created for you on videochief.io or .com, I believe. I can't even remember now. But either way, you got an account created for you automatically. All you got to do is log into there, and you're good to go. So once you purchase Profit Renegade and any of the upsells, you don't have to install anything else. It's just all gets unlocked inside the software. So I wanted to cover that real quick, and let me send this over now to Rick. Whoa.
Hey, Leslie Holbrook, aren't you a Mobile Renegade customer? I know you sent me a Skype message. I just haven't had a chance to get back to you. But aren't you a Mobile Renegade customer, Leslie? Leslie Holbrook. Leslie Holbrook, who's asking about sending the upsell bundle link. Oh. You guys couldn't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was just asking Leslie a question, and nobody was saying anything, so I thought maybe you couldn't hear me. Hey, Leslie Holbrook, are you a Mobile Renegade customer?
I think she put yes.
Oh, I missed it.
Yes.
Leslie, you were a Mobile Renegade customer. You didn't need to buy anything. I sent out a whole bunch of emails saying, don't buy Profit Renegade. Do me a favor, get with me on Skype. Not tomorrow. I'm going to be flooded with stuff. If you want to have a personal conversation with me, maybe around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tonight, give me a call. Let me fill you in on what's up. All right, Leslie? Give me a one if you understand. Oh, you are? Oh, okay. My bad. All right. No problem. You can ask Steve through privately about your question then. All right, guys. Before I get started with this, I just want to ask one really important question. How many of you here are interested in emailing? How many of you people were bought this because you wanted to email or who purchased the email upsell? If you purchased the email upsell, give me a 1. Wow, that's a lot of ones. That is a boatload of ones. Okay, so most of you guys bought the email. All right, listen, the email is a very simple interface to run, but it's a very complicated process to understand. That's going to be in its own webinar or its own training stuff. So we're going to go over all the basics tonight. I'll give you some basics on how to get the mailer running, but what you're really going to need to know about the mailer is going to take some time. So one of the things Josh and Steve and I were talking about was having another webinar on Tuesday, so on this coming Tuesday. So what I'd like to do is on that webinar is hit up most of this email stuff that you guys are going to need to know. You guys understand all that? or you guys get that, we can go into it, answer all your questions, and I can teach you everything you need to know about the emailing at that point. But tonight's webinar is going to be the basics of how Profit Renegade works, what the functions are, and what you need to do in order for it to get leads onto your computer right away. Do you guys understand that? Give me a 1 for yes and 0 for no. Ones, 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 ones. Okay. So I guess all these ones are saying you're going to be here next Tuesday, right? How about 5 o'clock? Does that work for everybody? Because I think that's what time we guys were talking about.
Yeah, so we're going to be having another webinar next Tuesday at 5 p.m. So make sure you're there as well. I'll post a link to it once we're done with this one.
And we'll make sure that we hit the emailer pretty hard. All right, so let's get started with the very basics. Everything across the top is what we call a function, these major buttons here. As a matter of fact, can everybody see my computer? Can everybody see my mouse? If you don't see my mouse or computer, give me a 0. I don't see any zeros. Do you guys?
Nope.
There'll be a replay, J-Mail. Or, I mean, Tom Anderson. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a very basic setting. You guys should have seen a welcome video in the tutorial section that basically said, hey, we had a hurricane. Sorry, there's not a bunch of videos, but here's one. I'm going to walk you through that exact video that I showed you right now live and show you how easy it is to get this thing running. I'm going to click on settings. I'm going to click options. I'm going to make sure I click my general settings tab. And in this case, I'm going to do super pages. And I'm going to try not to make this run too fast because I don't want to kill all the bandwidth so you guys can't hear me speaking. So I'm just going to put it on a mildly slow setting. And now I'm going to click on keyword locations. I'm going to just load some examples. I'm going to click apply. I'm going to look at the queue. That tells me that it's actually loaded up and ready to roll. I'm going to close the console and I'm going to click start. And over here in the B queue, you can see that we've already got 170, almost 200 leads, over 300 leads. Now that's pre-for processing. In about 20 seconds from now, when this bar right here gets about to the halfway point, it's going to pop them into the grid. There you go.
A quick question coming in real quick. Vaughn is saying, why aren't the settings pre-configured? They actually are. You can click the safe settings, and those are the safe settings if you're not using any proxies. So it's kind of like a little lock icon, Vaughn, that you can click on, and it'll preload the safe settings that you can use if you're not using proxies.
That's actually that's a perfect answer, but I'd like to expound on it a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Who asked that question anyway?
Vaughn Smith.
Vaughn Smith? All right, Vaughn. Let me break it down for you. Each service that you have, and by service I mean what directory that you want to scrape from. In this instance, I have all the plugins running. So Yellow Book United States, or Yellow Book, Yellow Pages United States, Yellow Pages United Kingdom, Facebook, Google, Better Business Bureau. They're all different services that have websites with business directory listings. Each one of those places only allow you to make so many connections to their server. Some allow more connections than others. Some will let you scrape faster than others. And some have a lot of mechanisms in place to keep you from scraping or doing what we're doing here. So to pre-configure each and every one, while we have this button right here to do that, that's only the basic settings for you to run the software if you don't want to use proxies or you don't want to scrape a huge amount of data. If you're just looking for a little bit of data every day, like say you want to make some phone calls, so you get 100, you just scrape 100 leads, you get on the phone, you make your phone calls, and you do it again the next day. That's what the safe settings are for. If you really need, if you're running a phone room or you're sending out these, if you're sending out postcards, if you're making telephone calls, if you are taking these penny leads and you're turning them into real leads by sending them info and having them reply with information, then in that case, you're going to need to learn and understand each specific directory settings yourself, and you're going to have to tweak them. Some days they work better than others, and worse than that, every couple of months they change. So what works really good today, in 2 months from now, might not work so well. But if you're using this every day, you're going to see the changes, and you're going to understand them, and you're going to make those adjust it, and it's not going to be a big deal. But if you go every month, if you only run this thing about once a month, which some of our customers do, each month you're going to have to relearn what's going on, and that's kind of not really what you want to do. The best way for you to run this is just run it a little bit every day, or run it full tilt and learn what they do pretty much on a daily basis, so that you're always on top of things. Does that make sense? Do you understand now? Vaughn, I believe it was? Okay, excellent. Okay, so as you were able to see, I was able to pause it and do some stuff while we were talking. One of the most important things about Prophet Renegade is its ability to run on your computer, and by that I mean you can tweak it so that it runs as best as it possibly can on the computer system that you have it on. So if you have it on an old archaic system with very little RAM, it will run. And if you have it on a new system with a ton of RAM, it will also run. But you have a bandwidth throttle, so that's what these settings are. This allows you to control the front and the back end of the software to tweak it to your specific computer with your specific bandwidth. This allows the software to run with a minimal amount of computer usage. You see it down here. It's not using a whole lot, while being able to do all the other work. And that's one of the things that people appreciate about this software, is because you can get it to go blazingly fast while continuing to be able to do all the other work that that you're doing on your computer. Do you guys understand what I'm saying, or did I lose you because I got too technical? Give me a 1 if you understand, a 0 if I lost you. Lots of ones. So far I don't see any zeros. Mark Middleton, I'll answer your proxy question in a moment. Okay, I got a couple of zeros. Jesus Walker, you gave me a 0. Can you type out what you mean by I lost you? Where did I lose you at? Gregory Simmons doesn't get the front end versus the back end. Let me explain for you, Gregory, while they're typing out their question.
And real quick, Mike, Rick, Mike is asking. I saw a few people asking for links to the upsells. So I guess some of you missed them and don't know what we're talking about. So I'm going to post a link to all 3 upsells in the chat box.
Oh, are you done? Hello?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, I heard dead end. I mean dead air. I was like, what? Okay, let me explain the front end versus the back end, guys, while they're posting out or typing out their question. If you guys look up here at the top, you see the AQ and the BQ. The AQ is basically what you consider the front end of the software. So you click the apply button and it builds all the strings up for you, and then it sits it in the queue, and then the threads send those strings out to the server that basically says, hey, where are the restaurants in London? And then that's the front end. So it takes those, the data that comes back to those front end threads gets stored into a queue. That's the BQ, also considered the back end. So you have 2 independent sets of threads. You have the front end collecting hitting the search query, and the back end actually receiving the information. That's part of what makes it so quick. Does that explain it better? If you guys understand the difference between the front and the back end? Roland Roth, yes, this is very useful to Canadians. Okay, I got 1 yes. Did I just make it worse, or give me 1s if you understand, 0s if you don't. Okay, here comes the 1s. And a couple of repeats. All right, I'll try this one more time. I'm a geek, guys. I don't really know how to break down some of the more technical questions, so just bear with me while I try to figure it out. I'll keep trying until you guys all understand. The software is broken into 2 sections. Oh, actually, let me break it up a little bit better than that. If you open up your browser and you go to a website, you're in one tab, correct? Everybody understands that. You have a browser open, you type in a web address in one tab. We'll call that one thread. If you open up 10 tabs and you go to 10 different websites at the same time, you can consider that 10 threads. Does everybody understand that? Ones for yeses, zeros for no. Okay, great. So when you sit there and you hit enter to go to that website, that would be considered the front end threads. Everybody understand that part? One for yes, you understand when you hit enter? Okay, great. Now when the server sends the information back to your web browser, that would be considered the back end threads. Get it now? Everybody understand? I see a whole bunch of ones. Any zeros this time? Excellent. Okay. Now since you guys understand the threading, that's what the A and B queue labels up at the top are for, so that you can understand exactly what the software is doing. The A queue tells you what's about to be sent out and what's sitting there, the information it's ready to look for, and the B queue is all the information it's already found. Everybody understand that? Excellent. Excellent. And now since you have control over how many of those threads you can open and close at a single time, and you have control of how fast, with the timeouts right here, if you adjust these timeouts, and if you adjust these front ends and back end threads, you can literally use up every little piece of bandwidth that you have in order to collect your data. So some days you're trying to do a whole bunch of work plus watch some YouTube videos, you lower the threads and you run the software slower. Other days you want to go to bed and you don't need any bandwidth, nobody in the house is, doing anything, you just crank it up, you get as many leads as you want. You guys understand that? Everybody understands? Awesome. Excellent. Somebody asked me what a reasonable range for timeouts is. I'm going to mention a particular plugin that I know none of you have because I will not offer the plugin to anybody yet until you've been with us for a while. And by a while, I mean 60 days maybe. It all depends on once I know you're really familiar with the software, because it's one of the hardest plugins to work. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because that has one of the hardest timeouts you have to understand, and it's the Manta plugin. With any of these other software, any of these other services, you can generally do lower timeouts, generally around 30 to 60 seconds. With Manta, you have to do a minimum of 90 seconds. So it really depends on the service that you're going after, and it really depends on the proxy that you're running as well. Because if you're running a slow proxy, let's say the proxy has a 30-second timeout, and you put a 10-second timeout, the software is going to be running faster than the proxy. The proxy is never going to get you any data. Does that make sense, guys? You understand that? Ones, ones, ones. Lots of ones. A timeout is when it's, Archie Allen's asking what a timeout is. A timeout is the amount of time it takes for a thread, a single thread, to do what you want it to do. So at the end, in this case, I have it set on 20 seconds. So if you tell this to run a single thread to get some data, if it does not get the data within 20 seconds, it shuts that thread off and it moves on to the next task it's supposed to do. Do you understand that now? I forgot who asked that question. Whoever asked me that question, did you get it? Okay, got it. Ones, ones, ones. All right. So that was the basic settings. I'm going to show you some interesting stuff here. How many of you guys mail out postcards? Give me ones if you do postcards. Zeros if you don't. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so not a whole lot of postcards. You guys who are doing zeros, you guys should start sending out postcards. That's where the money's at, I'm telling you. Emails, postcards, letters, all those are good ways to make some money. Hold on, somebody sent something and then the screen got all messed up. Hang on, guys.
Here, while Rick's doing that, I'll tell you from personal experience, postcards and letters work. Everybody wants to go email because they don't want to talk to anybody, and I get that. But I'll tell you right now, even though it's more expensive to send out letters and postcards, your response rate is going to be much better than emails. So that's my experience anyway.
It is. Emails work, but you have to do a lot. And by do a lot, I don't mean you have to send a lot. You do, but you need to know a lot. Everybody thinks you can just send out, emails and boom, you send them and you're done. But that's not the case. You got to understand spam filters. You have to understand subject filters. You have to understand contextual body filters. You have a lot of understanding that you need to do. None of it's hard to understand. None of it's terribly difficult to implement. But when you take 100 different variables and you try to shove them into one little thing and you have no idea that those variables even exist, then most people fail. And so it's not that email doesn't work. It's not that email is a great hard thing to do. It's just that there's so much crap you need to learn ahead of time if you want to have any chance of success whatsoever. And I'm sure that I'd be willing to bet 15% of the people in this group right now have bought email marketing courses and thought that they were going to sell a whole bunch of crap through email, and they came up short, and they're cranky, and they think that email doesn't work. As a matter of fact, if you're one of those people, give me a 1. Yep. Okay. Not as many ones as I was expecting. I was expecting a lot more than that. Let me explain something to you. It does work, and I actually know how to do it really well. I know the proper way to do it to get your mail into the inbox. If this is something that you guys are actually wanting to do, I'll be more than happy to take some time and go over it the next time we have the webinar. So if you guys really want, if that's really what you want to do, you better grab a pen and a paper and a recording device, and you better come to learn, because it's hard to learn, or it's not hard to learn, it's just a lot of crap you need to learn. Do you guys understand? All right, great. I see some thank yous and appreciates that. Listen, I'll do what I can to help you guys make money. I mean, I'll show you what I know, but you guys got to get off your butts and do the work. You guys understand that? I'm not going to hold your hand. I'll tell you what to do, and if you don't do it, I'm just going to look at you and go, what was the point? You guys get it? All right. Excellent. I kind of lost my phone. Oh, yeah, we're talking about postcards. The reason I mentioned postcards is it's very evident that you cannot send out postcards if you don't have an address, correct? You guys all understand that. I mean, that's pretty basic. So see this one right here? We couldn't send out a postcard, and if we put it into some type of automated postcard label making machine, it would go belly up. Everybody gets that, correct? So one of the nicest things one of the better things I did with the software was I gave it the simple ability to remove and clean out your leads in the couple button clicks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove any street address field that does not actually have a street address field. It's going to take about 2 seconds. Everybody ready? If you blink, you're going to miss it. Give me a 1 if you're ready. All right, here we go. Boom, that quick, it's done. So every single one of these leads now has an address. You guys see that as I'm scrolling through? So we're going to do the same thing to the zip code. We want to make sure that they all have a zip code. So I'm just going to, boop. See, I know some of you blinked and you missed it, didn't you? Now for you email fanatics, if this was just an email campaign, we'd do the same thing. We'd just come over here and we'd remove anything that didn't have an email. You see how easy that is, guys? That's only like one of the functions built into this grid. It's called massaging your list. Has anybody heard that term before? Massaging your list? Give me a 1 if you've heard it. Well, everybody that's giving me a 1 means you've been around for a while. Anybody that's a no is I'm guessing, hasn't worked with lists for that much. But that's all right. We'll teach you. That's what we're here for. Right, guys? So much for the resounding yeses.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm on mute. I'm on mute.
I had to click the mute button.
All right, so let me show you a little bit more information. Now, we all know that people put information up on the website however they want to. And what that does is, in some instances, they don't follow proper formats and procedures. So that means you don't come up with certain information you're looking for with a scraper that's looking for specific field names and whatnot. So what I like to do, if I'm going to check any information out, is I just look through the leads until I see something interesting. I'm going to look at this one right here because it says info. And I'm like, I wonder if that's real or not. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to double click it. And what it's going to do at that point is, as you can see, it's going to open up my browser. It's going to bring me to their website. And now I can eyeball it, and I can say, geez, what is this? What kind of page is this? Is this a good page? Did they pay a lot of money for this page? Is there a different contact on here? And I can see just by looking at this right here, it's some type of template. Somebody probably charged them an arm and a leg for this. And I know my own skills, I could blow this website out of the water, I mean, with just a couple hours worth of work. And I could, if I really want to get down to it, I could look at the page source, look at the meta tags, look at what I call their assets, and see what type of SEO, if any SEO, is done for the page. And of course, if you go in armed with that type of information, how are you not going to get the sale? Right, guys? Give me one if you understand. Excellent. Lots of ones. Good deal. How many of you guys are actually interested in doing mobile or selling mobile websites? Give me a one if you're into the actually selling mobile websites. Oh, lots of ones. I really wasn't expecting that. Okay, let me show you something real quick then. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that if you click this button right here, I should start over, sorry. Click Settings, click Open Mobile Emulator. Now you guys might be thinking, what's with the white square? The reason it's square is because most of these are going to go on a web page, and most of those web pages are going to be white. So that's why I chose that. For you guys who are giving me ones, I'm glad to see that, because I sat there and found several of these mobile images, these mobile phone images, and I just didn't bother putting them in here because I didn't think that many of you guys were going to be working with the mobile stuff anymore. But since you are, I'll put in some options so that you can change the face of the mobile website. You guys understand what I mean by that? See how it's silver? I could give you a black one, a green one, a red one, blah, blah, blah. You guys want that, or is that just a waste of time? You guys good with this silver thing? So yeses, 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 except for Mike. I like Mike's idea. He said it's a waste of time. All right, so once we have that open, as you can see, this says mobile ready. And all I'm going to do is now that this is open, I'm just going to double click in it and I'm going to see what it actually looks like. And this particular size screen is exactly what it would look like on, I believe this is an iPhone 6, maybe, I don't know, it's an iPhone, I think, whatever it is. But I made sure these dimensions are exactly correct. So if anybody wants to go ahead and, feeling froggy, go ahead and pull up golden or godental365.com if you have this, if your phone looks like this, and that's what it's going to look like. So it's saying it's mobile, but it sure doesn't look very mobile to me. So I know that this is a prime candidate that I could go and be like, look, man, I don't know how much you paid for this, but you got robbed, so why don't you and I make a deal? Do you guys understand? Nicholas, Heracleos, I see you. I'm going to help take care of you in just a little bit since you can't connect to the software. Give me a X, Nicholas, if you heard me. Nicholas, you said you can't connect to the software. Okay, excellent. Hey, if you can, send Steve Hayes. He's in here. Send same thing for you, Greg. Go ahead and send Steve Hayes a private message real quick through this webinar thing, and he'll explain to you what I'm doing, and he can give you my Skype address. You guys got it? You guys understand? Yarden, you can run it on a Mac if you have Parallels or a VMware. As a matter of fact, here I'll show you. I'm running it in a VM right there, so it works well.
Also, let me throw out as an option for some Mac users that you may not have considered, because I know a lot of you don't like running virtual machines on your Mac because it brings your Mac to a crawl, and I get that. What I use and what I suggest is that you use an inexpensive Windows virtual private server. What that is you're renting somebody else's computer, basically. And they provide you with a bare install of Windows, usually Windows Server 2012. and you can install Prophet Renegade on there as well as any other software, and that's Windows based. And then that way you're not tying up the resources on your computer. It works just like any other computer. You're borrowing the machine, you're paying them a monthly fee. The one I'm getting, it costs me $10 a month, and it works great. That way I'm not tying up the resources on my own computer. I'm allowing somebody else's computer to take the hit. So if you're interested in that, hit me up and I will send you a link, and it's not an affiliate link, to the service I use. And like I said, I'm paying $10 a month. It's worth it.
You done, Steve?
Even if you're on a PC, you might want to consider it. Just
Yeah,
so
actually,
you're not tying up the resources.
a lot of the mobile Renegade, I meant mobile Renegade this time, guys, not Prophet Renegade. A lot of the mobile Renegade users who have been with the software for a couple of years actually do that. Just for that reason, they start off small, scraping a little bit here, a little bit there, and then they get more used to it and they get more into it, and then they start selling leads and et cetera, and they wind up having several computers running at a time, and it's just easier for them to pay the $10 a month per computer and have it off-site. As a matter of fact, the $10, $15 a month, you're paying less for that server than you would be for the electricity of running the computers in your own home. Mike, I think it was Michael Moffett, he called me out and said that website looks great on his iPhone 6. Well, I knew that would happen because that's just Murphy's Law. I don't know if this is an iPhone 6 or not, but this thing's mostly accurate most of the time. It's nothing with the no mobile emulator on the market period at all is 100% accurate. This one, as far as I know, is one of the more accurate ones. It runs usually over 90%, mostly around 95%, but there is a margin of error, and there's nothing I can do about it. Hopefully you guys understand. You guys understand that? Give me a 1 for yes, 0 for no. Excellent. By the way, this one actually can test for, or does test, it does like 24 tests, checks. I forget what they all are, but it does check Java. I don't think any of the others can do that. It also checks, what's the word for it? I'm having a brain fart. What a wrong time to stop thinking. Somebody help me out. What's the word for it when the thing auto-sizes? It has nothing to do with mobile. It just resizes to the shape of the screen. I can't think of the name right now. Steve?
When they, I know what you're talking
Responsive,
about.
that's it.
Yeah, responsive. There you go.
Yeah. This is, as far as I know, this is the only one that checks for a responsive design. So if it is responsive, it does come back as a yes. Does everybody understand that? Great. Excellent. Excellent. But again, not accurate. It's fairly accurate. It's pretty accurate. I mean, don't bet your life on it accurate, but it's pretty darn accurate. So let's move on to another section. Since you guys are interested, I'm just going to close this out because there's no reason to have that open right now. And as you can see, I just actually, I'm just going to start over here. I'll show you a couple of neat little tricks. I'm going to import, as you can see there,
You know, Rick, that's something you also may want to go over with them is importing and exporting. A lot of people don't realize that they can save whatever they scraped as a CSV file and then reopen it later in Prophet Renegade or open it in Excel or another spreadsheet and, clean it whatever way they want. So that's something we also need to mention too. I get a lot of questions about that.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm sorry, I was looking at a couple of questions. I'm going to hold off on the questions for right now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this. I'm going to clean out all the answers for the mobile here. So I'm going to clear out results, and then look. You saw me import these. I did them a couple days ago. I'm just going to go ahead now and check them again. So I'm just going to hit options because let's face it, you scraped last month and then you open up the leads a month later. A lot of those places might have turned around and got a responsive site or a mobile website. I mean, you guys understand that, right? Internet moves forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the mobile threads on, or make sure they're on. I'm going to actually raise the threads, and I'm going to put the timeout on 45 seconds. I'm going to close the console, I'm going to click on the mobile header, and I'm going to click Mobile Check Entire Grid. And there you go. It's just that simple to re-verify your leads. Does everybody understand that? Give me a 1 if you understand, a 0 if you don't. You could put a list of just domains in here too. If you just have a list, you know, google.com and one underneath yahoo.com and so on and so forth, you could load that in and hit check the list, and it'll check the list for you as well. I'm not going to showcase that today. I don't really see any sense in it. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the grid cleaning. If you left-click in the grid, it will highlight it. If you right-click that same highlighted lead that says Ink Wasi Peruvian Restaurant, if I right-click that, it's going to disappear. Boop, because it gets deleted. Does everybody understand that? Steve Hayes, did you see Mike Carlson's personal monthly? Sorry, somebody else said something. Did you see his question about the software?
No.
Steve Hayes, could you give could you look through there and give him my Skype number or Skype thing and explain to him when to,
Who is that?
start?
Which one?
I think it was Mike Carsley or something. Do you see it? I don't see it. Do you see it?
Looking.
Is it the CH last name?
I don't know. I just saw he said he could. Oh, it's there. It is. Mike Carlson. Very last question. It's me. See, he said it's me.
Yeah.
All right, great.
I'm sorry.
Just let him give my Skype info and tell him, you know, what I said about the hours and times and a couple days and blah blah blah. Leslie Holbrook, yes, don't send to the grenade. Do not send to the grenade. That is me. I have been listen, Leslie. Actually, let me tell everybody real quick. I'm going to give you a quick sob story. You guys got time for a sob story? I'll try to make it quick. All right. We'll have to hold. Oh, you guys sure do want to hear a sob story. All right. Listen, I've been working my butt off for like 3 months, literally 12 to 15 hours a day. I'm a single dad. I'm running my own business. I got a life just like all you, but most of my life is dedicated towards making money and working. And so the last 3 months, I've been trying to convert Mobile Renegade over to the pretty version of Profit Renegade. And right when we had a few days to go to cinch everything together, we get the news that the hurricane Matthew has a very good chance of like landing on top of my house. And I kind of laughed it off. But when it came up to 48 hours beforehand, I was like, wow, this is getting serious. So for a couple of days there, I had to batten down the hatches. And then I didn't really think anything was going to happen. I've been here a long time. I made it through Hurricane Andrew, and I've been through 3 hurricanes here in Daytona, and it really didn't do any damage like Andrew. So I wasn't expecting anything. And so we had to bump the launch. Because I didn't have time to finish stuff, and we just didn't want me to not be available once we launched the software. And then I had about a week with no power, and I figured, wow, I'm good at my job. I'll just finish the software up without having internet. And that turns out to be the biggest mistake I ever made, because I wasn't able to test everything and lost power. Had to clean up, had to get trees off the house, you know, all that crap while trying to do this launch. And on top of it, I screwed up the actual website. So I don't know if this is a story of, you know, what not to do or not, but I'm telling you right now, I screwed up a lot, and I'm trying to make it all right by walking you through everything and teaching everybody what needs to be done. I hope you guys can understand what I'm trying to say. You guys get that? So we went through hell to get this to you. We screwed up. Well, I screwed up a lot, but I'm going to make it all right for everybody that's here and anybody that bought this. You give me a 1 if you understand, and a no, hey, you're full of shit. Okay, I don't see any. You're full of shit. So thank you. I'm glad you guys understand. Awesome. If you guys think you have any frustration at all about running the software, just imagine how I feel.
Yeah, and guys, you can see just from the mobile Renegade testimonials alone that this is something that is not like any other software you've bought. It's been around for years. We're gonna Rick is gonna make sure everything is running for you guys. This is not something that just popped up overnight. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, I barely even showed you anything, and I bet you that everything that you've seen so far, and I haven't showed you anything, that this thing blows anything you've ever looked at away. Is that correct? I mean, has anybody seen anything better than this with just the tiny little things that I've showed you? Give me a 1 if you've seen something better.
Oh, no
My
ones
heart's
either.
pounding. My heart's
Yeah,
pounding.
no
I'm
ones.
waiting to see a 1. Well, Adam said a name to a product. I'm not gonna mention that product, but I will check that out when we're off this webinar, Adam, and I'm gonna see if you're correct or not. Hopefully, you're not.
Lorenzo said the same one.
Yep. Damn. I don't like that. Hang on, guys. I gotta write that down. Joseph, we'll get to the database stuff in just a little bit.
Right, Vaughn.
Yes,
That's the problem with a lot of them. They don't stick around very long.
yeah, we've been selling Mobile Renegade for 4 years, I think. 4 years, maybe 5. No, I don't think it's quite 5. 4 years. I could comfortably say we've been selling Mobile Renegade, not Profit Renegade, Mobile Renegade for 4 years. We don't have a whole lot of users, just a little bit over 5,000. Most of those users were basically word of mouth. We did an advertising run in the very beginning, and we got, I think, 1,000, maybe 1,000 customers from that, and then the other 4,000-ish were all word of mouth. So that's people like you who bought it because maybe somebody talked them into it, and then they liked it so much they told other people, and then they came around and they bought it. So so hopefully, I mean, that's really what I'm. Yeah, that's right, Leslie. That's exactly correct. So you guys got to. Leslie mentioned she saw the sales page for $157, and let me tell you what, none of you paid that for the base product. So you guys got a heck of a deal. And the reason I was willing to make that deal is because price of doing business. I get some new customers, fresh blood, who get to know me and know my product and know whether they like what I do. And you guys get a tool that can hopefully grow your business and make you some money. And then in the end run, my gist is, you like my product, I helped you make money. I'm going to say, great, give me some more money. Hopefully you know, I'm laughing, but that's the case. I want to make this so good for you that you make so much freaking money that you just keep giving me money. You guys understand that? Anybody have a problem with that? One's if you understand, and zeros if you don't. Yeah, y'all get it. It's all about making money, correct? Well, John Cunningham sent me some zeros, so I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
I guess he doesn't want to make money.
All right, so let me go back to. I forgot. I was in the middle of showing you how to delete leads from the grid. If you left click once and then you right click, that'll delete a single lead. If you hold the shift key down and you left click, that will do multiple leads or highlight multiple leads, and then you left click and that gets rid of all of them. If you want to pick and choose which ones, you just hold the control key down and left click, and then you right click and it deletes them all. Does everybody understand that? Give me a 1 if you understand, a 0 if you don't. Roland Roth, I'm doing videos as soon as I can, buddy. Yeah, unless you mean, is this being recorded, then the answer is yes, it's being recorded. Did that answer your question, Roland? Mike Carlson, I don't understand what you mean by copy leads and transfer them. Oh.
Maybe export?
Oh, hold on. Roland Roth, are you saying, hey, does one of the services show me whether they have a video or not on their... As a matter of fact, we do. Just remind me, Roland, before we're over with this, and I'll show you. I'm not going to go through every plugin, but I'll at least show at least one plugin that shows the video thing. All right, Roland? Okay.
Guys, for everyone asking about replays, we are recording, so we'll have a replay out either by tonight or by tomorrow morning. I'll send an email out to everyone with the replay link once it's ready.
Okay. Since he's asking about videos, that reminds me, I should probably explain something to you. This particular service that I'm running right here, Super Pages. Everybody that has Profit Renegade has Super Pages. I made sure that you all got that.
They got Super Pages as the upsell. It was in the upsell package of OTO1.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Forget everything I was saying about that then. All right, for you guys that got Super Pages, let me explain why you want it, all right? It just looks like another directory, but it's really not. Let me explain exactly what it is. And for you guys who don't have Super Pages, feel free to cry a tear of, dang, I should have got that. You guys all know what Yellow Pages is, correct? Yellow Pages United States. Give me one if you know what Yellow Pages United States is. Okay, great. Super Pages is owned by Yellow Pages. Everybody understand that? Give me one if you understand. Super Pages is owned by Yellow Pages. Great. Now, here is the most important part. Super Pages puts commercials out on television. You're probably familiar with them. You see little kids or people running around with capes or business owners. They have a big yellow cape and a big yellow badge. And basically what Super Pages does is they take their existing paying monthly customers from Yellow Pages and they offer them an upsell into Super Pages. And the upsell is, if you pay us a ridiculous, retarded, stupid amount of money every month, we will run these commercials and tell everybody that we have vetted you as a good business. So if they are listed in the Super Pages, that means that Yellow Pages is basically saying that they're quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes here even though everybody hates them, verified, vetted businesses. And for that privilege of having the commercials run, they're paying a ridiculous amount of money. So that makes them the perfect storm of a customer, because you know that they are paying a monthly fee and it's high. You know that they know what internet advertising is, and that's half your battle. And you know that you're not going to scare them with sticker shock. And as you saw, it's pretty darn fast, so you can get a whole lot of leads from them very quickly. So if you guys just learned something, shoot me a 1. Did anybody actually know that before I told them? Give me an X if you knew that already. Okay, so 1X, 2X, oh, there's some X's. All right, well, the rest of you who didn't know, well, now you're in the loop. And that's a gold mine. So I would use it to your advantage. Everybody understand? Now, I might as well mention that, by the way. There are things in Profit Renegade that you will not get anywhere else, period, bar none. It's because, well, in some cases, they just don't know, the makers of the software. But in most cases, what I've known from other software out there that's even remotely like this is the people who make it don't actually use it. I use this. I'm a lead guy. I buy, sell, and trade leads. I'm a sales guy. I love to get on the phone. I'm sure you guys can tell just by the way I talk. I love talking to people. I love showing them how my product works. I love getting them to give me money. And I totally lost why I was saying that. Said I love myself, and I forgot what I was talking about. But anyway, the point is sorry, I started reading these questions and I lost my point. What the hell was I talking about? Somebody fill me in. What was I talking about, Josh?
Well, before that was the Super Pay being able to...
Oh, why it works. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's why it works, because I use this software to do this stuff for myself. So I need something that's reliable, fast, consistent, and that's how this all comes about. And since I use it, I pick up tricks that other people who make software don't pick those. They don't know the tricks. So if you own this, you're going to get a lot of crap that you can't get anywhere else that's going to help you with your business. And since you guys already bought it and own it, you know I'm not trying to sell you this. You already know it. So everybody give me a 1 if you understand that, and give me a X if you think I'm full of baloney. I know there's at least one person here that thinks I'm full of baloney because they keep trying to shark me. Excellent. All
No
right,
X's.
well, mostly, yeah, mostly.
Oh, there it goes.
I think somebody's being funny.
Tom, man, Tom, just get a refund. Tom has been in here since the beginning, complaining.
It's all right. These guys haven't been around. They don't have any reason to believe me at this point, and that's cool. But in a month or so, it'll be a different story. I know there won't be any X's. Okay, so anyway, Josh, could you talk for like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
All right,
Sure.
cool. I don't know how to mute this. Could somebody tell me how to mute
You
this?
yourself, there's a little green
Oh, I found it.
microphone. Yeah,
I'm going to mute it. I'm going to mute it and walk away, and you say whatever you got to do. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Alrighty,
Sorry.
cool. Yeah, so let's see. One thing that I did want to mention was the safe settings. So if I think Rick touched on that a little bit, but I want to touch on it a little bit right now. If you see on his screen right now, there's a little lock on there. If you're not using any proxies at all, you're going to want to use the safe settings, all right? Because the safe settings, it's exactly that. It will keep you from getting blocked from scraping pages, sites like Yellow Pages and things like that. Like Rick said, some of these sites have different security settings in place where it kind of prevents you from one IP address to send so many requests to their server. So those safe settings allow you to stay safe. It allows you to not get blocked by some of the sites that you'll be using to get leads. Now, if you do want to take it a step further and be more of a power user, then you will want to use proxies. Okay, and you'll see towards the left-hand side on Rick's screen, you can set up, click on proxy setup, and you'll be able to set up some proxies. Now, if you have proxies, that's awesome. If you want to be a little bit patient with us, we will be covering how you can use Prophet Renegade to generate your own proxies, but that's a topic for another session. I think we'll be covering that in next Tuesday's webinar, where we'll be going into a bit more about some advanced stuff that you can do with Prophet Renegade and being able to generate your own proxies and never actually have to pay for proxies is one of them. So we'll be touching that on the next webinar, one of the reasons why you'll want to be on that webinar as well. Just keep that in mind. If you're having any issues, you can see right there where it says general settings on the screen, look to the right, there's an arrow, there's a save icon, and then there's a lock icon. That lock icon is the safe settings. So you can click on that, and even if you mess with any of those general settings that you see there, you can always click on that safe button and it'll revert back to the safe settings. Okay, so let's see if there's any questions.
Josh, I keep getting the same questions over and over about a replay. Yes, we will post the replay in the members area. We will also send out an email once it's rendered and ready to go. That will be either later this evening or it will be tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, it's already recording. I'm recording, and Steve is also recording as well. So don't worry, guys. We will have a recording for you. Someone is asking, can I use Hide My Ass with Prophet Renegade?
No, it's a different type of service. You're using a VPN versus proxies. For Prophet Renegade, I mean, you can try it with a VPN. I've tried it with a VPN, and it really doesn't work that well. So my advice is get private proxies, either dedicated or semi-dedicated. Just depends on how much you scrape. If you get the semi-dedicated, there's bandwidth limits that you can use. If you get a dedicated proxy, then there's no limits on your bandwidth. You can use it as much as you want.
Perfect. Raymond is asking if this is live. Yes, Raymond, we are live. So a couple of people are asking for the safe settings again. All right, so look at the screen right now. You can see that it says general settings, and right there, that orange little lock where Rick is hovering, that is the safe settings, Okay, so if you're not using proxies, use that configuration on there.
Right. See all these little numbers down here? Watch what happens when I click save. Ready? Boom. See how they all changed? Okay, that's as pre-configured as that's going to get. Now, I don't know how to stress this enough. That is a safe setting for super pages, not a safe setting for United Kingdom. And more importantly than that, we don't know when super pages is going to change. As a matter of fact, let me explain something to you that's very crucial for you to understand. This is not a set it and forget it software for me, the developer, because there's like 20 different services that you could choose from depending on what plugins you own. And they all change all the time. Sometimes you code them and they work for 3 months and everything is just beautiful. And then sometimes they change like once a week. So I am constantly having to update this software to keep it running. And to make matters worse for me as the developer is they roll out the changes slowly. So in some instances, they'll make changes on, let's say, super pages. So but I'm in Florida, so I'm over here and I code it and it's working and it's looking great and awesome. And then people in Canada or California, they're on a different server because Superpages is running some type of cloud service, and they haven't rolled the changes out to California. So California, they're getting crap in the grid while everybody over here on this side is getting all the good stuff. And I have to wait until Superpages stops making changes for me to make it work for everybody at one time. And that is 90% of the reason why you see people build scrapers, sell scrapers, and then run for the hills. They take your money and they run. That, by the way, is something I'll never do. That's something that if you look through the update logs, you will see that, you know, it gets updated all the time. Literally, sometimes you get 5 updates in a week. Sometimes you won't get an update for a month, but you'll see it went back years and years. I cleaned it out, I think. You only have the last years, but that's enough for you to see how much I'm updating this thing just to make sure it's running for you guys whenever they make any changes. Does everybody understand that about the safe settings? Ones. Anybody who doesn't understand?
And don't worry, guys, if Rick tries to cut and run, he lives about 45 minutes away from me, so I'll find him for you guys.
Yeah, you better prove that and come buy me some beer, man. We should play some pool. Roland Roth, Canada. What question marks? What does that mean? Does it work in Canada? Is that your question? Roland Roth, do you want to know if it works in Canada? Yes. No. Well, it depends on what plugin you have. Yes. By default, you get the Yellow Pages Canada, and that works. But Facebook works in Canada, and the Universal works in Canada. You're the front end only, then yes, you have just Yellow Pages Canada, and it works really well, by the way. But they don't get emails, so you have to tick the box that says Email Digger, which is this right here. All you do is make sure timeout's high enough because it spiders the entire site depending on your options here. So just put your timeout up fairly high enough to scrape a website and put it on whatever threads you think is appropriate, and it'll get you emails if that's what you're looking for. Does that, do you understand that, Roland Roth? Yep, excellent. Let me see. My internet connection is Alan Kingsey is wonky right now. Is this being recorded? Yes. Can you get many emails from the Facebook plugin? That's from Mike Carlson. Yes, you can. Mike Carlson, the question that you're asking is kind of it's a yes/no question. If you do something like, say, restaurants, you're going to get a buttload of, you're going to get more emails than you know what to do with. If you do something like dentists, you don't get quite as many emails. It really depends on the niche that you're going for. And that actually really applies to all of the services. The niches that you go for, different niches have different varying amounts of emails returned. Does everybody understand that? Give me ones if you understand, no's if you don't.
I find that the tradespeople, for example, roofer, painter, carpenter, and people like that have a tendency to put their emails out there. Professionals like doctors, chiropractors, attorneys, not so much.
You done, Steve?
Yeah, I'm done, Rick.
I guess.
I just
Okay.
wanted to hammer that point.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. Thank you. I just didn't want to overtalk anybody. All right. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to open it back up. I'm going to show you a very helpful, useful, I don't even know what you want to call it, a function that I find extremely useful. It's the USA database. Now, for you people that are in Canada or the United Kingdom or Australia or whatever, here's the deal. This database came from the U.S. Postal Service. It costs about $2,000. I have not been able to get a hold of a database for the Canada or the UK or Australia. If I could get a hold of one, if you guys know where I could purchase one, let me know. I will get it. I will shove it in here. Well, I'll get their test data and make sure that's actual, real, decent data, because I've been burned a few times trying to buy crap. So if we can verify that it's an actual database with actually good information, I'll buy it. I'll throw it in the program. Not a problem. Meanwhile, let me show you why this is so useful. I like to search by state. I'm going to do Florida. I live in Florida, and I don't know all the counties or area codes or any of that stuff. I'm sure you guys don't know everything in your area either. So I just put in Florida, and then look, I could look right through here. I see all the different cities, and that is what I want to put into Profit Renegade. So I'm just going to click this little button here. Once I click that, it's going to merge, sort, and dedupe. See all these cities that say Jacksonville? We don't want Jacksonville in there 100 times, so it's going to clean that out and just put one entry for Jacksonville. So I'm going to click the button. Depending on how fast your computer is how fast it does the merging, sorting, and deduping. Once this box goes white again, that means they are now loaded into your locations area. Does everybody see how easy that is? Now that is a time saver, is it not? That's like putting a Ferrari engine inside a Yugo. Yep, good. All right. Does anybody not understand that? I'm seeing a bunch of ones and that you understand. Somebody give me a 0 if you do not understand. Okay, great. Now with this USA database, you can search by zip code. You can also do by area code. Area code is kind of tricky. It's really great for targeting areas and like circle areas for sending out postcards and whatnot. Unfortunately, a lot of the services like Yellow Book does not allow you, or actually Yellow Book is one of the few services that actually allows you to search their service via area code. A lot of the other ones do not. So I wouldn't just willy-nilly try and shove area codes into every service, because you probably get horrible results. I do a little tiny testing. The way to do a little tiny testing is really simple. Just come on over here, click the example button. You don't need all that crap, so just pick one, any one, clear it out, add it back in, and then type something in, or type in the area code that you want. Oops, did that wrong. Type the area code that you want and do a test. See if you get any data back. If you get even one lead back at all, period, or anything in the BQ at all, then you know that you can do area codes for that service. Does everybody understand that? Give me 1 if you understand, 0 if you do not. Okay, we got a couple of zeros. Jesse Walker, or Jesu Walker, sorry for mispronouncing your name, bud. Could you please explain what part of that you didn't understand? You as well, Jonas Voss? Okay. Jesse or how do you say that? Jesu? Am I pronouncing your name right? Jesu Walker? Yes? Okay. Jesu just wants me to repeat it. What I'm saying is you do not want to load in a list of area codes, because most services will not allow you to search with those area codes. So you just put in 1 or 2 area codes like we did right here manually. Just type it and add it in and put in 1 or 2 keywords and run the software. And if you get any information back here in this BQ at all, any number above 0, then you know that that service will allow you to search via area codes. So then you can just stop it, click start over, and load in an entire list. Does everybody understand now? Give me a 1 if you do, a 0 if you don't. I'm talking to the guys who didn't understand. Okay, great. All right, I heard you guys talking about proxies, so let's click on that real quick. Before I go into the proxy setup, let me show you guys something, because I heard somebody ask about where to buy or somebody mentioned buying proxies. So I'm going to click this button that says buy proxies, and I just want to come down to this right here. This is a website that I am not affiliated with at all in any way, shape, or form. I buy from them. I'm a customer. I guess I'm a loyal customer because I've been with them for 4 or 5 years. I'm not affiliated in any way, shape, or form. They're really, really good, but their customer service is 100% automated. If you do not know what you're doing and you need help, you're screwed. You will get a robot literally trying to answer your question, and I pretended to be a customer who doesn't know what they're doing, and it sucks. It was very frustrating. So if you do not know what proxies are or how to use them, do not use this service. If you know how proxies work and you're just looking for a pretty decent deal, not the best deal, a pretty decent deal, but stable, reliable proxies, this is a good recommendation. You guys understand that? Give me a 1 if you do, a 0 if you don't. Great, excellent. Mark Middleton wants to know, how do you know if it's stable? Are you asking whether a proxy is stable? It means whether every time you go to use it, it's still, it works properly. Another way to tell if it's stable is if you, as you're pulling data back through it, in other words, you can see the lead going into the grid. If you get the name, the address, the telephone number, and then boop, nothing else comes in after it, then that means the proxy probably dropped the connection. And what good is half the data? You understand what I mean? Whoever asked me that, I forget your name, sorry. I think Mark, I think it was. All right, great. Roberto, you're asking if they do change the proxies every month? Is that what you're asking? Belinda, why can't 30 semi-dedicated work just as good as dedicated? Belinda, they can. If you get 30 semi-dedicated to work and they don't, they can work for a period of time. Semi-dedicated means that other people are using the same thing. Now, if they're not using it for the same service, let's say the person that you're sharing those proxies with, if you're both trying to scrape Yellow Book, you're screwed because you'll get blocked. If you're not trying to both search Yellow Book, then those 30 dedicated proxies will work just fine until you reach your bandwidth cap. I've noticed that shared proxies like that tend to put caps on how much transfer rate you can use. Not all of them, just some of them. And the dedicated is just so that we could say that we know for a fact that that's going to work pretty much every time you go to use it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Give me 1 if you do, no if you don't. Okay, hang on guys, I got 100 questions coming in here and some of them are long. Give me a second, I'm going to stop talking, I just need to read.
And guys, if for some reason we miss your question, just repost it again, and because there's a lot of interaction going on in the questions box, so just try to, if we miss you, we didn't do it on purpose, just post it again if anything.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk through this in order. Mark Carlson, what's a fallback place to buy where you can talk to a real person? My answer to Mark Carlson is I have no idea. Good luck. Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny. I just don't know. Belinda Condell, I know, but I've never had any I have no idea what you mean, Belinda. I'm sorry. It must have been to a different question. Roberto Dabowski, I need to talk about the international plugin, else I cannot buy it. Roberto, talk to Steve Hayes in private, whatever this is. What is this, webinar? Yeah, talk to him in the private messaging. He'll help you out real quick. Carl Hagard, sorry, what are proxies? The short answer is it's a middle person, a middle computer between your computer and who you're trying to get the information from. So if you're going to Yellow Pages without a proxy, your computer talks directly to Yellow Pages. Carl, if you use a proxy, what would happen is your computer would talk to that middle computer, and that middle computer would then talk to Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages would talk back to that middle computer, and then that proxy would send you back the information. The whole point of a proxy is so that Yellow Pages has no idea who you, Carl Haggard, actually are. You understand now, Carl? Carl, give me a 1 if that's a yes. Anything else if it's a no. Mark Middleton, can you do a quick explanation of how many proxies to put in the proxy area? And I already bought 50 proxies. Is that too many? Mark, the answer to that is I really can't answer that. It totally depends on how much you're scraping, blah, blah, blah. 50 is not too many. I always feel like the more the better. It all comes down to price. What can you afford? What do you want to afford? Do you want, and honestly, you don't have to afford anything. You can go get free proxies that are crap and throw them in there, and mobile Profit Renegade does a pretty decent job with handling it. If they're bad, it just chucks them out. But it's slow and it's chunky, but it'll get the job done. You don't have to spend a dime on proxies. It's just so much better if you use dedicated proxies. And depending on how fast you want the software to run, will really dictate, and how aggressive the service is on blocking. You will dictate how many proxies you want to use. Do you understand, Mark? Was I clear, or did I just muddy up the waters there? Give me a 1 if you understand, Mark. Ariel Cruz, another question. I'm running my Profit Renegade at the same time with what you are doing, but it was not really giving me results. I am really frustrated. Really. Maybe it was my system. Chances are, Ariel, that there's a setting or two or more that you just didn't see or something. And quite frankly, it could be your system. And if it is your system, there's 100 different ways to tweak the Profit Renegade to run better on your specific system. I would suggest right off the top, if you have any spyware or antivirus or malware, or don't turn your firewall off. But if you have any of that other crap, I turned it off and just run it for 2 minutes, see if it runs better. If it does run better, you know it's one of those. If it doesn't run better, what I would do is I would turn off Profit Renegade, open up your firewall, tell the firewall that Profit Renegade is a good program, and whitelist it, then turn Profit Renegade on and try to run it that way. If it also, again, does the same thing for you, then it's probably your settings, most likely your settings. And if you get with me or support, we'll help you figure out some settings. I will be putting some videos into the members area over the next 72 hours. I will be, I have a bunch of print tutorials for Mobile Renegade already. All I got to do is convert the pictures over to the new stuff and then line up all the numbers, and then we'll have a ready-to-go system of print tutorials that are very detailed. I mean, really detailed. So all of that should help you get Profit Renegade running very well on your specific system. Do you understand that, Ariel? Hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm putting you off and saying, hey, I don't know. I'm telling you that it's a couple different possibilities. Whatever those are, we'll make sure that you're running pretty decent, though. You still there, Ariel? Give me a 1 if you understand. All right, great, excellent, 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 excellent. Belinda Condell needs my Skype ID. Steve, could you please take care of her? Is there an FB user group from Charlene Ferguson? Yes, there is. I have no idea what the link is to it. Greg Castle. Give me a second, Greg, to read your question. Greg Castle, yeah, if you showed up earlier, you would have known what's going on. I screwed up somewhere in the middle of this hurricane nonsense, and my server is actually sending a few people to the wrong place. You should have went to members.profitrenegade.com, and you were probably sent to members.mobilerenegade.com. Mobile Renegade and Profit Renegade are the same software, only Profit Renegade looks prettier, and it's what we're porting it over from Mobile Renegade. If you get with Steve, if you get with Steve through support, he'll He'll give you the right link, and we'll make sure that you have Profit Renegade running. Do you understand that? Uh, Forgot your name. I'm looking for your question again. Whoever I was just talking to, send me a quick X if you understand what I was just talking about. Trying to answer your question about Mobile Renegade. Whoever, thank you, Greg. Thank you. Whoever put in the Facebook group, thank you. Yes, Roland Smith, Roland Roth, Safe does work in Canada. Jose Garcia, can we find white pages? I mean, people's emails, not businesses. Jose, do you mean, are you talking about consumer leads? Like you want to find, like if we open up the phone book and just started copying and pasting names and phone numbers with email addresses out of the phone book, is that what you're talking about, Jose? Yes. Okay. No, Garcia. No, Jose. It does not really do consumer stuff. I mean, if you really want to get technical, every business owner is a consumer. But I mean, that's just me splitting hairs. It doesn't really work that way. Mark Middleton, everything seems to work, but not getting any data from the USA database. I guarantee you it's because you didn't choose the right one or you're doing it wrong. Mark, put in, click the radio button that says state, put in a abbreviated state, in other words, the abbreviation, 2 letters, and click search. You should get something. I've never not seen it work. I've never, in 4 years of having this in the software, ever have anybody go, hey, the database doesn't work. So I can 99.9% say that it's something you're doing. Okay, and it worked now? Excellent. You're welcome, buddy. James Perrone wants to know the settings, or wants to have an explanation of how many pages deep per keyword. I'm really glad you brought that up because I forgot to mention that. Everybody see this screen right here where I'm highlighting the number? Give me one if you see it. You're still following along. Okay, excellent. When you guys go to any directory at all, manually, by hand, you type in restaurant, you type in Orlando, and then you type submit. You get back that main page, and you see all the links on it, maybe 10, 20, 50, whatever. And then at the very bottom, you see page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5. Everybody's seen that. Everybody knows what I mean by that, correct? Give me 1 if you do, and X if you do not. Okay, great. So I didn't see any X's. That's exactly what that means. How many pages deep per keyword? So if you set it for 2, it'll do page 1 and page 2 for every keyword. So if you have 10 keywords, it's going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Everybody understand that? Give me a yes if you do. Okay, perfect. Thank you. You guys got it down. You guys knew it was ones. I said yeses. Anyway, the reason I have it on 2 is because I'm an email guy. I like to get lots of emails. What I've noticed is that everybody that pays to be on the services usually are on the first, second page. Those are the ones that are most likely to have the emails listed. Anybody after page 2, like 3, 4, 5, the farther you go down, and the farther down you go, the less emails you get back. So that's why I keep it on 2. Does everybody understand that? Give me a 1 if you do, 0 if you do not. Excellent. Okay, so we probably should go back to this proxy thing since I got us all kind of sidetracked. You remember, does everybody remember how we were talking about front-end proxy? I mean, we were talking about front-end threads and back-end threads. We associate them with tabs in the browsers. Everybody remembers, right? Give me a 1 if you do, a 0 if you do not. If you don't, you're probably going to be screwed because I don't want to explain it again. Excellent. All right. That's how these proxy systems work. They're tied into the front and back side. So what you do is you right-click and you load your proxy file. It's just that simple. And they are tied to this section. So if it says front-end threads or front-end proxies, this is the section that's going to use that set of proxies. If you're putting them in the back-end section, it's going to be this. They don't have to be the same list. As a matter of fact, some of the services you're going to want to have different ones. For instance, the Google plugin doesn't even need to have back-end proxies because it gets a lot of information off the sites. You might want to have proxies for the front end, but not for the back end because it just slows it down and there's no need for it. You have zero need for proxies with the email digger because that's going again directly to the sites. You don't want a proxy on that. It just slows you down and you wind up losing information. So you don't need proxies for that. So again, sorry, I'm losing my voice. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to put you on mute 1 second. Okay, so again, how I was saying this is set up so that you can tweak it specifically for your computer, but it's also set up so you can specifically tweak it for every service. And the whole idea of being able to tweak it isn't to confuse you with a bunch of options and give you a bunch of bells and whistles and make your eyes glaze over. It's so that as you progress your way through learning the software, and it means as you learn, you make it better. The software gets a little bit more intuitive for you. It starts running faster. You start getting better leads. The quality of the leads get better. Everything about this software, or everything about being able to tweak it so specifically is designed so that you go from not knowing it, not understanding how to run it, all the way to walking down a path of, holy crap, this is amazing. This is what I need. Thank goodness that this stupid little option that I didn't understand in the very beginning now makes total sense and I use it all the time. You guys get that? Oh, there's a zero. Only 1 0. All right, Mark, or Raymond. Basically what I meant was in the beginning it looks like a whole bunch of options that you have no understanding about. All the options are set up so that you can tweak the software to work on your computer as well as the services, as well as being able to do other stuff on your computer at the same time. The more you use the software, the more they're going to make sense and the better the software is going to run for you. And that's why you have so many of these options to basically make your life easier as you get more familiar with the software. And the Save button is basically an easy way for you to get started without having to, you know, go crazy trying to figure out what everything means right away. Do you understand now? Raymond Markin? You're more than welcome. James Perrone, in keyword settings, please explain auto suggest checkbox. I would love to explain it to you, but let me tell you this first. James Perrone, I put those buttons there and they're supposed to be invisible because I did not code them in yet. However, I will do that very quickly as soon as I have the Microsoft issue 100% taken care of. Those are tied to each service. They work exactly like when you go to Google and you type something in, the drop-down window happens. Well, that happens for each service. If you go to Yellow Pages and you type in RES, you get restaurants and a bunch of other stuff, words just specifically for Yellow Pages. Each service has its own auto-suggest. And this, if you click the auto-suggest button on Prophet Renegade, it actually uses the service that you have chosen. Do you understand that? I forgot who asked me that question. Who asked me the auto-suggest question? Did you understand? James Frone. Okay, great. Excellent.
Rick, we're also
Gerald
getting
Cobb.
questions about video, so you might want to cover that.
Where? I mean, where? I don't see it. Hang on a sec.
Paul Smith is asking about videos. There's someone else that just asked about it as well. Oh, yeah. Roland Roth also asked about videos.
But they're asking about video. Oh, are you guys asking about, hey, where are the videos in the membership, or are you asking, hey, can this tell me who's got videos and stuff like that? Video listings. All right, Roland. Here, let me show you one of these plugins here. I don't know how many of you guys got this plugin or not. and I don't have any proxies right now, so I'm not going to run this crazy. I'm just going to give you a quickie little demo for it, and I'm pretty sure that this one.
And guys, now you can see why we're going to be running 2 webinars. We can sit here and talk all day long and help you guys out. And I know how rough it can be on um, someone's voice to be talking for this long. So we're going up on 2 hours. I think we'll take it up to the 2-hour mark, and then we can stop and continue in the next webinar, because I know that Rick's voice is probably on his last hair.
I didn't even realize it was 2 hours.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2 hours. We're coming up on 2 hours, so I think we'll stop right at the top of the hour at 7, and then I'll post a link for webinar number 2, which will happen next Tuesday. So it'll give you guys enough time to watch this replay, learn more about the software, get more familiar with it, and then come back next Tuesday and get any more clarifications and things like that.
Greg Shankin, I see you asking if your messages are coming through. I don't know if I saw something before that. Can you just post or paste whatever it was your question was, please? Greg Shankin, sorry. Okay, now, not everybody has this plugin, so let me just see. Okay, it must be the Facebook. I mean, it must be the Yellow Pages. I think Yellow Pages. Whoever was just asking me about the video listings, Roland, I think it was. I believe it was Roland. Okay, good. Yes, it's Roland and Paul. I believe that it's Yellow Pages USA that shows where they have a video listing. They also have a section called Ad, by the way. If it says yes in the column that says Ad, that means they've got a real world ad in the yellow book, you know, in the thing that gets dumped on your front step once a month that you never look at anymore. They're paying money for an ad in that thing. I also believe that there is a column that's saying whether there is a video listed by Yellow Pages or created by Yellow Pages. I'd have to look. It's been a while. In this particular plugin, this is a Google plugin, and it shows you if they have a YouTube video on their actual website. But as you can see, it also shows if there's a Twitter, LinkedIn, blog, what it's powered by, whether they have a newsletter or whatnot. I didn't do a very tight search. I just threw in a couple of keywords, and this is checking to see if their Google Plus page is claimed, what the ratings are, how many reviews. It pulls the 3 reviews if they're actually listed for all you SEOers out there. I didn't give it enough time to kick in and go to the website. I paused it. It'll go to the website, check their meta keywords, check whether they have a sitemap, grab an email if there is one. This is the slowest plugin, period, because it has to do so much. It's really fast to get the front-end data. You saw that. It, got 80 or 78 leads in just a few seconds. But to do all the back-end work, to go to the website, get the reviews, to get the meta keywords, to do blah, 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 that takes a little while. So this particular plugin is the slowest plugin that's there. But as you can see, I recognize at least 3 people in here that I know paid $1,000 for another piece of software, and I know that this right there is 10 times faster than what you guys paid for. So I hope you use this and stop using that other piece of crap. You know who I'm talking to. All right. Didn't mean to call you out like that. I like to brag a little bit. What can I say? All right. What was your question, Roland? James Ferrone, it does say if it's a WordPress site. And it does show if there's a video on there. But it does not show if they're doing AdWord advertising. Roland Roth, that's the G Plus or the G Spot plugin. Aha, at least one person, at least one person knew what I was talking to. Awesome. All right, guys, so we got 15 minutes before we close this up. I think maybe I should let Josh and Steve talk for a couple minutes. And you guys take a moment while they're talking and figure out if there's any crucial questions that you need me to answer before the 15 minutes are up. But I'm going to put you guys on hold. Hang on, I'll scroll it over for you. Right here where it says powered by James Ferrone, where does it show if it's a WordPress site? It'll tell you right there. If it's a WordPress site, it'll pop up right in there. I didn't give it enough time to go to the actual site and get all the info.
Awesome, guys. So let's give Rick some motivation to come back with the same awesome energy next week. Give us a 3 in the chat box if you found this webinar helpful so far. If we could answer your questions, awesome. Perfect. So he's not on here just wasting his time. Perfect, guys. So remember, we will be having another webinar next Tuesday, same time, 5 p.m. But the biggest thing that I want to tell you guys is to take everything we just covered in this webinar, apply it for the next week so that you can have a better understanding once we talk about all the other stuff on next week. Don't just, not do anything. Even if you have to watch this replay, start playing with the software, get more familiar with it. And like Rick said, the more time that goes on, the more familiar we're going to be with it, the better you're going to be at using it. And then by this time next week, you'll be able to, do a lot more stuff and have more informed questions. And with those more informed questions, it'll be better for you to start picking things up. Okay. George is asking, what OTO has the G-Spot plugin? That is OTO1. So I'll go ahead and post all the links for the upsells in the chat box now, and I'll explain the upsells one more time. So the OTO1, let me see if I can. Okay, now so OTO1 was the extended services bundle. So that's where you'll be able to get G-Spot, Better Business Bureau, Facebook, and a couple of other different services that you can get leads from. That's OTO1. OTO2 is the email plugin. So the email plugin is going to allow you to quickly and easily go from finding your leads to emailing your leads. And we're going to be talking about that in the next session as well, just because it's such a monster tool in and of itself. And then OTO3 is Video Chief. Now, Video Chief is our membership site where you can log in and download done-for-you videos in over a dozen different niches. So you can just log in and use those to sell to your leads. You can sell them for however much you want, 97, 100, 500, 1,000, however much you want. Sell that, keep 100% of the profit. Someone was asking for tutorial videos about that. There really isn't any, because literally all it is you have to, once you purchase, you get your account created, you log in, and you can just browse through the massive Rolodex of videos, done-for-you videos that are in there. And not only are you getting videos, but you get the scripts as well. So if you want to create your own videos, you can use the scripts we have in there. You can use the voiceovers that are in there and create your own visuals. So there's a ton of resources in there that you can use. All you got to do is have your account, log in, and download them. And also, one thing that I want to touch on as well, the upsells, once you guys, or if you haven't purchased the upsells yet and you do, don't expect to get another download link. The next time you fire up Profit Renegade, it should recognize that you've bought that upsell, and the upsells will be automatically unlocked inside of your version of Profit Renegade. So you won't have to download or install anything else. So just a heads up, because we've had many people contacting support saying, hey, where's my upsell? I don't have anything to download. I purchased it and I don't know where to go to download it. You don't need to download anything additional. It's already built into Profit Renegade, and it'll just be unlocked inside of your version. So Leslie is saying that she got Video Chief and it rocks. Awesome. So glad that you picked that up. And yeah, it's definitely an amazing resource to have. And all the upsells, to be quite honest, build upon each other. Although they're all optional, you don't need them to make money. You can make money with just the front end of Profit Renegade, but the upsells just make your life a whole lot easier. The first upsell allows you to get more leads from different sources. The second upsell allows you to easily email those leads. And the third upsell gives you a product that you can sell to those leads. So it's honestly a complete business there by having all the upsells. Dale is saying, can you do a quick overview on how Video Chief helps us? I mean, I guess if you guys really want me to show it, it's honestly what I said. You can just log in, download videos, and sell them. That is all there is to it. There's nothing complicated about it. So let me go ahead and take the screen back and show you guys.
Wait. Can we,
Oh,
hold
okay.
on one sec.
Sure.
Hold on. Sorry, I type slow. Renegade. All right. Here, I want to put this on the screen for anybody that didn't get this. I just want to hit it real quick before you go over that Profit Renegade. Before you go over that video thing. Once again, guys, this blue address right here, that is the Skype address I set up specifically for anybody that is having the auto update issue. That's a Microsoft error, not a Richard error. Let me jump in your computer. It takes 5 minutes. With a remote administration, I'll just boom, we'll get you set up. I'll talk to you for a couple of minutes. It's first come, first serve. It's going to take several days. I'm going to do it for 4 hours a day. That's it. I need 4 hours to help you guys and another 4 hours to continue getting the product, better. So start tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you send me any requests tonight, you can send them. I'm just not going to answer them until tomorrow. There it is right here. That's the address. Anybody who needs help, go ahead and start sending me that tomorrow. If you're one of the people that have not received the registration key, I saw Steve was telling me that there's a few people that did not receive a registration key. That goes through the Josh's support. Steve will handle that for you. I am just handling the auto updater or the installation. If you haven't installed it properly or it's giving you errors after installation or it's not updating, that's the Microsoft area I'll jump in and fix for you. All the other stuff goes to Steve. If you guys just want to chat and say hi, hey, go ahead, send me a thing. Let me know you just want to chat, and I will start talking to you when I have some free time. And that's that. All right, it's all you, Josh. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything I was supposed to talk about?
No, I think we're good. Let me just quickly show this, and
I think somebody asked about the email. Let me just hit that real quick. Whoever asked about the email, we're doing a real in-depth email thing next week for the next webinar. So if you have questions about the email, show up to that webinar. All right, I'm done talking. It's all you.
Cool. All right, this is literally going to take about 2 seconds because once you log into Video Chief, it's pretty self-explanatory, guys, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It's a database of a ton of different videos. So with Profit Renegade, you can find the leads. With Email Renegade, you can email the leads, and then if you want a ready-made product that you can sell, here it goes, Video Chief. You can log in here. We have different videos in different niches here. You can see business, cars, computer, entertainment, fashion, finance, food, restaurant, all these different niches that you can come in here and download from. You can browse through them, you can preview them, and then just download them and sell them. That's it. Or if you want to sell leads, you can download them, rank them, and then sell the leads to these different businesses. And we also have voiceover templates. So let's say if you don't want to use these visuals, and these are all HD videos, but let's say you don't want to use those videos, you can just download the voiceover templates, create your own visuals, and boom, you have another unique video there. Or if you want to create a completely new video, we have the script templates for the videos here as well, and you can record your own script, create your own visuals, and boom, you have a completely new video there. So that's it. I mean, Video Chief is very self-explanatory. I don't think I need to touch on it anymore. They're done for you videos. You come in here, you download them, sell them for however much you want, and you're good to go. So hopefully that explains Video Chief. And like I said, there's over 150 done for you videos, about another 100 or so voiceover templates, and about another 100 or so script templates. So I think there's over 600 templates altogether. All right, so
Steve's still around?
I believe so. And
I'm still here.
Do you have anything that needs to be said as far as a support standpoint?
Just
Like,
ask
hey, quit
people.
bugging me? No, I'm just kidding.
Really. No, it's just please be patient. I'm trying to help everybody as quickly as I can. I've had some people get really upset because I didn't respond within 2 hours. Folks realize I'm dealing with thousands of people, okay? And I'm trying to get to you as quickly as I can. So bear with me. I'll get with you. I promise. Just please be patient.
Daryl Mack has a question I want to answer before we hang up. Daryl Mack, are you talking about CSV Ripper? You're typing CSV Rigger with question marks. Daryl Mack, do you mean okay, what's the question about it? Or do you mean, is there going to be like a demo on how to use it? Daryl Mack.
And guys, I'm going to go ahead and post the link to the next webinar, and I'll also be emailing it out. But if you want to go ahead and just go ahead and get registered for that right away, the link to the second webinar is in the chat box. Now I'm trying to post it in the questions box, but it seems to be acting up. Let me close it out and open it again.
All right, I sent this privately to you, Daryl, but I'll just say it out loud since nobody's talking. I probably screwed up something somewhere. I'll make sure it's fixed. I'll let you know as soon as it's fixed. I probably just, when I was switching the mobile Renegade to the Profit Renegade stuff, I probably just made a typo error or something. It says not enough space. I don't know what that error is, but I'll figure it out for you. It's probably something I did.
Awesome, guys. So thank you, everyone, for joining us on here on the first webinar. Again, we will be having another one next week. I posted the link to that in the chat box already. I'll also be emailing you guys by tonight or tomorrow morning at the very latest with not only the replay for tonight, but also the link for the next webinar and anything else.
I didn't answer any questions from this guy because there was only question marks and I didn't see them. Do you see third question up from the bottom? Should I take a moment and answer that, or do you want to end it?
Universal plugin, yeah, you can explain that. It's pretty quick and easy.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the Tor browser. Okay. Question mark. What's your name? I hate saying question mark. That sounds kind of silly. John? All right. John, hang on a second. Wait, Greg Schenken needs an answer too. Greg, I didn't see your question again. Put it in real quick. Nobody else put any more questions. Just Greg and John. Okay. John. Universal plugin. Okay, basically Universal plugin goes to Bing, grabs the local information, and then goes to the websites and gets the rest of the information. It works, as far as I know, in every country in the world. We have language packs installed that Microsoft put out, so if you're looking for a non-English speaking way to collect the leads, or the leads to come back in non-English speaking terms, I don't read anything but English, but the language packs are supposedly very good. I tried it with some Japan, and people who spoke Japanese actually said it came back correctly. That's the best I could tell you. The Tor is a whole nother thing. There's a button on Profit Renegade where you can connect to the Tor service so that you don't have to use proxies. There is quite a bit to understand on that. I am going to put together a video. I am going to put up the downlink where you can get the Tor, and I'm going to put up specific directions on how to use that. If we were to sit here and talk about Tor, it would take 35 minutes. We obviously are out of time right now, John. If you need a more immediate answer, if you hit me up on Skype tomorrow, I'll explain it to you the best I can. Or basically, we could talk like verbally over Skype, and I could probably knock it out in maybe 10 minutes. If you're pretty computer literate, it'd be a 10-minute conversation. Hopefully that answers your question.
I just took a look at Greg's issue. It seems like he was having some weird redirect issue, but he says he just tried it on a virtual PC and it's not happening anymore. So yeah, it's probably just some kind of cache or something that was happening. And now you're asking about access to Video Chief. You should have received automatically your login information to the PayPal email that you used to purchase. So make sure you check that. It would have automatically sent it.
He said he didn't get it.
And also, it's going to show up inside of the receipt for JV Zoo. So let me show you where that is. Show you an example.
Sorry you lost, Nicholas. You'll get the replay here shortly. Somebody will be sending it out. I don't know who. It won't be me, but somebody
Yeah.
will send it out.
Yeah, I'll be sending it out by tonight or tomorrow. So here, Greg, log into your JVZoo account, go to the receipt page for Video Chief, and you'll see your login details right in here. All right, so it's going to be there for sure, or you also received an email to your PayPal email address with this same information here. So, and if it's still not here and you still have issues, just hit up our support desk and we'll get you taken care of. But please check here first because I am 100% sure it's here inside of your JVZoo account.
Hey, I forgot something I should have said since these are all new people who don't know me. This will only take 30 seconds. Listen, guys, I don't send out a lot of emails. When I do send out an email, it's in your best interest to answer it. I do occasionally send out affiliate stuff. It's like super rare. I think I've done it like 5 times in 5 years. But it says it right in the subject. It'll say sale. If you see something that says Profit Renegade important, you need to open it. If it says Profit Renegade software information, you need to open it. If it says Profit Renegade sale and then some other crap to make you want to read it, you can filter that out if you want to. I have it set up. That's the way I've been doing it. You can set up the filters ahead of time. If you never want to see a sale from me, just put the word sale in the subject and you'll never see a sale from me. But the other emails that you get from me, you need to open because they're important. I might be switching servers. You might get locked out of your software. We don't need any of that, and you don't need to be frustrated. So if you get an email from me, make sure you open it. You guys understand that? Give me a 1 if you do, a 0 if you do not.
Perfect. And real quick, also, Roland is saying that he never checks his PayPal email account. Well, Roland, that's probably a big issue because the way JVZoo works is all your login details and your receipts and all of that stuff goes to the PayPal email that you use to purchase. If you don't want it to be sent there, then use a different email to purchase with, a different PayPal email. But the way that all the integrations work is that all your delivery stuff is going to be sent to your PayPal. So if you think that we somehow know that you have a second email address that we should send your login information to, we don't. The only email that we know of is the one that you use to purchase. So don't expect us to know that you have some other second email that we magically have to send the information over there to. It's going to be sent to the one you use to purchase. So I start checking your PayPal email if you want to make sure that.
Okay. Hey, did you see that? He just sent you the email.
Okay. Well, send that over to to support then because.
Yeah. Does everybody have that? I don't know what that is. That's like support blogger or something, or
yeah.
Could somebody type that in for him?
Yeah. I'll put it in here.
All right, guys, I'm going to bail. I hope I was helpful. I hope you guys learned some things. Thank you very much for trusting me and buying my software. I spent a lot of time on it, and I'll see you guys next week and hopefully help you some more. You guys have a great night. I'm out.
Awesome, guys. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.